What's up, y'all? It's Ariel Savant, and I am back with another video. And I feel like it has been so long, but I have such a major update for myself, a major update for what this means for this channel, and I just can't wait to get into the things. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, I am now a flight attendant. This journey it's 2025. I think this journey in total has been 5 years. Granted, I didn't think I would be doing this 5 years ago, but how all of this started into now, it really means a lot. And I'm just so grateful to be here. And I'm sorry I have not been on YouTube. There's been so much to go through, but I'm ready to finally put myself back out there and start offering more content. So I literally had to write down notes to recap how this journey has been and how long it has been. I have a couple of notes here on my iPad because I wanted to make sure I wrote down the important parts and so we can get into the things. And I'm also being a little quiet because I'm on a layover right now. I picked this up, I'm on a layover, and I just don't want to be too loud for my neighbor. This journey starts in 2020. Rewind back to 2020, I was injured. I had just had shoulder surgery, and I remember I was sitting at my friend's place, and it was the middle of COVID. It was like summer 2020, so COVID was freshly on the streets. I was sitting on the couch with my friend, and he was like, well, what do you want to watch? And I was like, I don't know, like, I don't care. I had just got done with my surgery that day. And so I had to stay with my friend because he was taking care of me. And he said, oh, well, I don't know. He was like, my sister's a flight attendant, and we watch flight attendant vlogs sometimes. So I'll never forget, I think it was Fly with Stella. And that was like the first time I had really saw like a flight attendant in the act. And I had a friend that was a flight attendant, but we never talked about it. Like, I just knew he did it, but we never went into anything. And I remember watching the video and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I've never really seen what the day in the life of a flight attendant is, but I just never thought much about it. At the time I was in college, I was getting my master's degree, which I did get. So yeah, I was getting my degree in education. So I just never thought like, oh, that would be my life one day. It was just something to watch, on YouTube. Fast forward, I got my master's degree in 2021 in education. And then at that moment, I really kind of struggled because I was like, okay, I've gone to school for 6 years and I don't know if this is what I want to do. And so I decided just to move back home to Atlanta and just pursue like other things like acting, modeling, singing, things like that, and which I still want to one day, but I went home and I just went back into the food industry. I went back to making quick money and making money and spending it, making money and spending it, making money and spending it. And next thing I know, I was doing that for like over a year. I had a quick little serving job. I was making great. That's still the best money I've made to this point in my life, but I wasn't satisfied. I was literally just working just to work. And I remember I had quit the job, and at the time I was like, well, I need something fast. I need something quick to do. Like, I need something different. And I applied to be a flight attendant back in 2022. But let me tell you, I did not do any research. I don't even think I made it past the first round because I did no research. So of course that ended up being a bust. Like, I did not go anywhere, and I only applied to one company because I didn't know any better. I didn't know everything that goes into being a flight attendant and actually getting to the point of being a flight attendant. I struggled summer of 2022. Like, I was just going with the wind, like wherever life took me. So I actually ended up going back into the food service industry again. And I was in the food industry for another 2 years. So from 2022 to 2024, I was stuck doing the same thing again. Late 2023, I was like, something has to change. I was like, I cannot keep doing this. Like, I cannot keep being stuck here. Like, this is not where I want to do. And there's nothing wrong with food service, but I was ready for a career. Like, I'm almost 30 years old. Y'all have been following. I have been making this YouTube since like I was like 22. And I'm 28. So like 6 years on this channel. And I feel like y'all have seen me growing up, but I'm almost 30. I'm ready for a career. I'm ready for a real change. And I started regretting so much in life. I was like, should I have just gone and did something with my degree, even though I wouldn't have been happy? Should I just go and do stuff? So I was very lost. So everything started kicking in really in 2023. And I just remember I would talk to my friends and I would be like, they were like, trust the process, just pray about it, all this type of things. But when you're in it, you don't want to hear that. unfortunately, like you're ready for your moment. And so it was just a very tumultuous time for me. So fast forward to 2024, late 2023 into 2024, I had applied to the same airline I applied to back in 2022. I didn't get it, which is fine. Again, like I still didn't do enough research. I made it further along the line, but I didn't do enough research into what to do. And of course, I didn't make it past a certain point. So again, I'm not upset, and I believe everything happens for a reason. I'm still juggling like these service jobs, like in and out, in and out. Like at one point I was just not happy, so I would just start a job and then quit it because I wasn't satisfied. One, the money wasn't right, and I just wasn't fulfilled. And I literally had a moment, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing in life right now. Like I am just literally just going with whatever. And that was such a hard thing for me because I've always, up to a certain point in life, I've always had things planned out. And I feel like up until when I graduated, I didn't know what was next for me. And that stressed me out. And I know that stressed my family out. Like I was never that type of person where you would think, oh, well, he got a degree, he's not gonna do anything with it. You know, like it was very hard for me. I applied for another mainline in early 2024, and I got to a certain point where I was gonna go to the face-to-face, but then they delayed my interview process and they put a pause on all interviews. And this was like early May. And I was so frustrated and sad. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? So that's when I first started to do, like after doing research, I realized there's regionals, there's other airlines, there's other ways in. And so I applied to a regional in May. Throughout the summer, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything from the regional. I'm still waiting to get an update from the main line. I'm not hearing anything. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm ready to get this going. So over the summer, again, I'm still in that same cycle of just going through jobs, just doing something, whatever paid the bill that week. Literally, I was just going through, not happy, not fulfilled. So I was telling my friends that I'm just going to try to get back into education because I figured that was my only way out. I have a degree in it. It shouldn't be hard. I was applying all over the summer, not hearing anything. I had this one job interview. I made it to the final round. Again, I didn't get it. And I was just so defeated. So I ended up speaking to a supervisor that I had when I was pursuing my education degree. And I was actually expecting them to be like, you know, keep pushing, keep going forward, like keep pushing for the education job. Like that's where you belong, that's where you should be. And he actually told me, he said, his name was Dwayne, and I want to give a shout out to Dwayne. He said, you should look at where life is leading you. And I didn't get it at the time. He said, you know, you may not be happy with what you have right now, but there's a reason you're in the food industry. There's a reason you're in customer service. There's a reason you are having somewhat of a success with these jobs, even though you don't like them and you're not satisfied. Sometimes you're trying so hard to pull away from where life is leading you and just go with the flow. And that was a really big moment for me. And I was like, okay, I do feel like I've been fighting whatever life and fate has for me at this moment. So let me just keep going. No lie. The next day after I had that talk with Dwayne, I got an email from the regional that I applied to back in May. At this point, it's like August, September. So 3-4 months have gone by and I didn't hear anything. And that next day, I got the email from the regional. And I was like, wow, I was like, okay, like, I'm sensing the sign. I'm like, okay, God, I see you. I go to the interview and I get offered a CJO. I'm ecstatic because I was like, after so many months, at this point, it's almost been a year of me first trying again since 2023 to become a flight attendant. And I finally get an acceptance. And I'm forever grateful for my regional because I felt like they were the first company to see me and to be like, he's going to be good for this position. He's going to be good for this career. And it means the world to me. Shortly after I got that, the main line that I applied to back in May came back around and said, we're reopening up applications. We're going to fast track you to the face-to-face. That way we can get you started. Like we get you back on your track. So I was like, oh my God, I'm moving, I'm making it. I went to the main line face-to-face. Y'all, I made it all the way to the end. I had the one-on-one interview and I didn't get it. I was crushed because it's like, what is it? Like, why am I not, I felt like I wasn't good enough. And I haven't felt like that in a long time, but it really affected me. And I was like, okay, trust the process. There's a reason for this. And I still had my regional. I'm like, you're supposed to be at this regional. This is where you're supposed to be for this point in life. And again, I went to training for the regional. I started working for the regional, and it was amazing. The regional airline was amazing. They have better benefits than some of the main lines do. And I'll make another video about regional versus mainline and tips and tricks, but make sure you do your research, because I genuinely think the regional I was at was the best regional offered, period, because the benefits were amazing. So in midst of me working at the regional, I was there for a short amount of time, because in midst, the current mainline airline that I'm at now reached out. I had applied to them, and they reached out after a couple of months. Again, I waited months, but they reached out and they were like, well, we're starting back interviews. Like, you know, we would love to get you started on the interview process. So next thing I know, I was doing interviews every other week. Like I had to do like a virtual one, and then I did another virtual one, and then I did my face-to-face. When it came to the face-to-face, y'all, this story alone is a testimony. And I'm sorry if this is long-winded, but it really has been 5 years in the making, so I'm trying my best. Flashback to the mainline interview I had in 2024. Flashback to that mainline interview. I was so confident. I looked the part. I had everything prepared. I had my STAR method questions ready, and I didn't get it. So now I have another chance earlier this year, early 2025. This is January. It's now April, so this is very fresh on my mind. I have another opportunity. The day before, I realized I didn't have any of my proper interview equipment or interview attire, because I was staying at a crash pad because I was working at a regional. So I had to ask my crash pad owner to borrow a blazer and a tie. Found out I couldn't wear the tie because it was non-compliant. No, and then nothing against it. It's just a tie that I couldn't wear. And so at 11 p.m. the night before my interview, mind you, I have to leave for the interview at like 5 in the morning. 11 p.m. the night before, I had to run to Walmart to get a tie. And I was like, and I was just so like in my head, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I get to the airport. Because this is another airline, I went to the wrong gate. I went to the wrong terminal. So I ended up running. I was running late. And I remember I was walking to the right terminal, and I said out loud, I said, God, if this is for me, I need a sign. I said, because I am not confident. I am not feeling good. I'm not ready for this. I kid you not. I got to the next security. I went to the security gate that I was supposed to be at, and I saw 2 pilots standing there, and they worked for the airline I was applying to, and they were flying the flight on the way to my face-to-face. And that had to have been minutes after I said that prayer out loud. And I was just like, I asked for a sign and I got it. And so I made sure to keep a conversation going with them, just to like learn more about the company and everything and see from their perspective. And the pilot looked at me and he was like, well, what's your name? And I gave him my name. And he was like, I don't know anyone in recruitment. He said, I really don't. I don't know anyone in recruitment, but I'm going to email them for you because something about your spirit. Not going to go. Nope. And again, it was like another time where I felt so seen, and it meant the world to me, because I feel like I've been fighting for this, like genuinely fighting for this. Because at this point, we're going on almost 2 years of me trying to find something different. So I make the flight, I get to the interview place. Check-in is a whole nother beast. I gave her my wrong ID at first. My ID was expired. I ended up dropping my ID on the way up the stairs. And I was like, I look so unprofessional and so unorganized. And I was defeated. I was like, oh my God, like this is not, I wasn't as confident. And this is where I say there is something about flight attendant recruiters who, like, they really know what they're looking for, and they know when they see it. Because like I said, back at that other mainline interview I did, when I felt so pristine and professional and I know what I'm doing, I didn't get it. And I recognized back, I was faking. I wasn't being myself. And I think for this one, with me being so flustered and not being as polished or whatever as I felt like I should have been, I was almost forced to just humble up and just go with the flow. And y'all, I got the job offer. And again, in that moment, it just felt like such a win because years, I mean, some of my closest friends know, but even some family members don't know how much I went through just to get here, the sacrifices I made. I mean, like, it's a lot, but I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And I've only been here for a few, like almost a month now. It's very fresh. Like, I already did training and all of that stuff, and I'm flying now, but I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. And you hate it in the moment of hearing trust the process. We heard it during training. I heard it on the process of the interviews, but you really have to trust the process. And the reason why I said I think everything happens for a reason is because when I didn't get that main line last year, I was distraught. But now that I am where I am today, and I'm not just saying this because I'm here, I can't see myself anywhere else. I can't see myself anywhere else. Side note, the airline I'm at now, when I was applying years prior, I never saw when they were open. I could never catch their interview window or their application window. I never saw it. I never saw it. I actually applied the same week I found out I didn't get the other main line because they opened up a couple of days after I didn't get it. And that's a true story. And that's where I'm like, God has a specific way of doing things. And I'm not trying to push religion. I'm just saying for me, like, God works in mysterious ways. I kid you not, I didn't get it. I found out I didn't get it on like October 11th or 10th. And I found out the applications were opening for the main line I'm at now, October 16th. And I just feel like that's not a coincidence. There are things that are laid out for you, and it just makes sense in a moment. And again, saying that prayer at the airport on the way to the face-to-face, and I met the pilots right after. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. And I take this so serious. So of course I want to do vlogs, I want to do videos, but I social media is a very big thing as a flight attendant. So I just want to make sure I respect the company, but I also want to make sure I give y'all content. I'm sorry if this is a long story, but it's been a lot. And to anyone who watching this, who knew me through training, this is why I was taking it so serious. And this is why I was going so hard, because of how important it was to me, because I fought for this for years. And I'm so grateful to be here. Like, I'm on probation, so I really can't say too much, but like, I'm on probation, like, but I love it. Even in the first month, like, people are already seeing it on me. Like, I feel like it reads, because I finally feel like I'm sinking my teeth into something. I'm getting a career. But I must try to stop running along. But that is essentially the story of how I became a flight attendant, and I am currently a mainline flight attendant. I cannot wait to start doing vlog videos and all the things. I'm going to do TikToks. I have a TikTok, FABAJ. I think some of my regional stuff is still on there, but I can't wait to share this journey with you all. I'm grateful. And if you are like wanting to become a flight attendant, like, I plan on doing a video about that. I want to do a video about training. I don't know too much. Like, I don't have all the tips and tricks, but since these things are fresh on my mind, I would love to offer in any way I can. So expect more videos, but this is just an introduction of like the story time of how I got here. So I appreciate you all for watching. If you're still here, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. There will be videos, because now I feel like I finally have something that I'm happy to share with you all. And that's the real tea. I wasn't motivated or satisfied years prior, but now I am. And I'm ready to share that. And I'm ready to share this journey. So thank you all again for watching. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you let me know if there's any other videos you want to see. Anything I'm not thinking about, I would love to do it. Follow me on TikTok, FABAJ. The ad is Ariel Jr., but the tag name is FABAJ because, I want to have like a little thing going. Like, I want to share this journey. So there will be like little videos over there as well. Thank y'all again. Okay, I'm done. So until next time.